What's up guys, Dr. Ray here coming at you with another video. Look, today I want to talk about how I would go ahead and structure a portfolio if you're just starting off with a little bit of money. Most people when they're starting off are starting with maybe about $1,000 and they're wondering what cryptos to buy, what cryptos to look at, what projects should they add to their portfolio. We're going to go over all that today. Before we get into it guys, please make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thanks, and let's get into it. Okay guys, so the first thing you want to do when you're looking at a portfolio of $1,000 in size is making sure that you're filling it with cryptos that just make sense. Picking things that you feel you're not going to freak out about, that you can hold for a long time, even if you go into a bear market, and be okay with that. My thought process is when you're starting off with a small portfolio size, that tells me that someone hasn't been in crypto a long time, they're just trying to get their feet wet, and they're not sure what to get into. So always the very first thing I'm going to recommend is taking a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, the big two coins, the main two coins, the coins everybody knows about, even people who don't know anything about crypto, they've definitely heard about these projects, and that's for a reason. So Bitcoin, obviously, because it's Bitcoin, when people think crypto, they think Bitcoin. Everything crypto is based around Bitcoin, right? And so it just makes sense to have a portfolio that, you know, in my opinion, should be heavily weighted to Bitcoin. And that's regardless of whether you have a portfolio that's $1,000 in size, $10,000 in size, $100,000 in size, right? You always want to have a good sizable chunk of Bitcoin. And the reason for that is we're not really concerned if the market pulls back. We're not concerned if the market tanks, because we know in the long run that Bitcoin has value. We know that Bitcoin is going to be worth more than it is today in the future, right? That's not to say that you can't have a pullback, right? Like we had in 2017 where the market crashed. And if we're looking at, you know, prior market cycles where it's crashed, but it always comes back. And that's because Bitcoin is digital gold, right? 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you know, one Bitcoin is probably going to be worth $1 million, right? And some people may laugh at that. And all I have to say to that is, you know, you clearly don't know enough about crypto if you don't think that Bitcoin is going to be worth a lot of money in the future, right? It's simply facts at this point. So now obviously some people are going to say, you know, yeah, but you know, Bitcoin's worth so much, you know, it's $52,000 right now, you know, what's the point of even putting anything in there? I'm not going to make enough money. It's like, listen, what you have to understand is if you're getting in late, you're getting in late, okay? The only person's fault that is your own, because you weren't paying attention, right? You weren't paying attention to what was happening around you. You weren't paying attention to the markets. You weren't paying attention to the world, right? Bitcoin's been around forever, right? People have known about it for years now. Right? But it doesn't matter if you're getting in now or you got in yesterday or you got in a year ago. It doesn't matter. The price is irrelevant, right? What we're trying to do here is set up a portfolio so that we don't have to worry about it, right? You could take your $1,000 and throw it into some nonsense coin and maybe you make lots of money from it, but maybe you don't, right? So especially for someone that's just getting in, you want to be allocating to projects that are going to last for a long time, right? And that's why Bitcoin is always going to be my #1 pick, right? In my opinion, for putting in a portfolio of any size, including a $1,000 portfolio. So, you know, if I was thinking of, you know, any portfolio size, I would probably allocate, you know, 25% to 50% in just Bitcoin, okay? Now, obviously, you make your own decision what you want to do. You know, I'm not giving you financial advice. This is just my thought process. So, and then, like I said, you know, Ethereum, right? There's a reason why Ethereum is worth what it is now. There's a reason why Ethereum, you know, has consistently climbed in value for the you know, just like Bitcoin has. There's a reason why. Okay, everything is built on Ethereum, right? It doesn't matter what people say about Binance Chain, about, you know, all these upcoming other chains. It does not matter. Okay, Ethereum has first mover advantage, and it has an abundance of applications built on it already. Okay, so yes, in the future, is Ethereum likely to lose market share? Probably, as these other chains and protocols come online, for sure. But Ethereum is here to stay, right? I know people like to complain about the gas fees. I don't like the gas fees on Ethereum either, but Ethereum is here to stay. Fundamentally, Ethereum is going to be one of the biggest coins now and in the future, okay? So that's just my thought on that. So again, but people will say, well, you know, Ethereum's so expensive. How am I going to make money? That's not the point here, right? The point here is I'm not telling you how to make money. Okay, that's not my job. I'm here to tell you what projects are good to hold for a small portfolio size. If you're just starting off, you're just getting your feet wet, and you're looking for good projects to potentially go into before you then branch out later on. Okay, Because there's definitely projects outside of these ones that I'm going to recommend that you should think of looking into later, but not if you're just starting off. So next up, guys, I'm going to talk about my 3, 4, and 5 pick, and it's in no particular order. And quite frankly, I would probably be heavily weighting a portfolio to Bitcoin and Ethereum mainly before going into anything else. So in my opinion, Bitcoin and Ethereum should be your biggest holds because they're established projects, they have good use cases, and in the case of Ethereum, you already have tons and tons of projects and decentralized applications already built upon the Ethereum network, okay? But the next projects that I think are essential and are projects that I hold in my long-term hodl bag are Polkadot, Cardano, and Chainlink, okay? And those are the ones that I think are good for a $1,000 portfolio size for your next picks beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Cardano, simply because the team, simply because they have partnerships, right? Cardano has proven itself to be an upcoming blockchain that is going to simply move the earth, okay? And it is probably one of the blockchains that's going to gobble up some market share from Ethereum once Cardano really gets going, okay? But again, I wouldn't be holding more Cardano than I would Ethereum. I wouldn't be holding more Polkadot than I would Ethereum, right? I just don't think that's the play, okay? I think Cardano is great though, right? But remember, I don't trade cryptos, okay? There's people that will trade cryptos. They'll say, well, Cardano has more, room to move in the short term, so I'm gonna hold Cardano instead of Ethereum, right? And then when my Cardano goes up, I'm gonna sell some and buy Ethereum. That's trading, okay? I don't believe in trading. I don't believe in trading for a number of reasons. One, I'm not a trader, okay? I'm an investor. I'm looking to invest and I'm looking to hold long term. Two, tax reasons, right? You don't want to just keep buying and selling. I don't believe in that, okay? I believe in taking your money, buying good projects that you're going to hold for long term, and then hold them. Don't sell them, because when you sell them, you trade them, that's a taxable event, right? You don't want to create taxable events for no reason, right? You're gonna dilute your gains by doing that, okay? So don't do that, But Cardano is a project that I would pick up for sure. Again, not financial advice, but this is a project that I would heavily consider looking into if you're looking for a strong major altcoin, high cap project that's definitely going to be around in the future. So moving on, I already mentioned it, but Polkadot, okay? Polkadot, similar to Cardano, right? These are layer 1 solutions. These are protocols. These are the operating systems that everything will be built upon, okay? And Polkadot, simply because you see a ton of decentralized applications already being built on it, right? Projects that are already being built, ready to go, ready to deploy on Polkadot, right? Again, strong team, right? And a project that is just hyped, right? It's hyped, strong team, strong backers, and proven itself at this point, right? This is what we want to focus on, right? Even if we're branching out later on into more altcoins beyond these 5, we want to always focus on the main points: strong narrative, strong team, strong backers, okay? And Polkadot has it all. And finally, I mentioned it also, Chainlink, okay? And Chainlink, simply because Chainlink is something that the entire blockchain system needs, okay? Chainlink is a project that everybody's using, okay? Their provision of Oracle data is the best in the field, okay? And they're providing data of all sorts to all different projects, right? Now, some people don't like investing in Chainlink because they call it boring, right? They say the Chainlink is not a, interesting product. The price doesn't really move. Nonsense, okay? Nonsense, right? Chainlink may not have moved as much as some of the other coins, but that's a good thing, right? If you compare the market cap of Chainlink to, say, Cardano, there's still a lot of room to move up with Chainlink, okay? And I think by far this is definitely the best Oracle play you could have in your portfolio. And even though there are other Oracles coming up that I'm looking at, Chainlink is still number 1, okay? And it's a project that I think is important to hold in any portfolio, especially your large cap allocations in your portfolio. Okay, so that's it for projects that I would initially be starting off. So if you're starting off with a portfolio that's $1,000 in size, I would probably be allocating something like, taking half of that, maybe $500, and split it between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe take the other $500 and split it between Cardano, Polkadot, and Chainlink. Look, to be honest with you, when we have a portfolio that small in size, it's hard to really tell you how to really structure it. And at the end of the day, that's not my job to do. I'm not here to tell you how to structure it, right? I'm just here to show you projects that I think for someone who's a beginner, because if you're starting with $1,000, that tells me, you're just getting into crypto, right? And you're looking at what projects to buy. And if that's the case, I would be picking projects that are in the top 10, top 20, and these are the 5 that I would be likely looking at that I would include to start off with. Now from there, you can branch out. As you add more money and you want to get further into crypto, there's other projects you can add, right? But I probably still stick to these ones for a while until you know what you're doing, until you get a sense of what all the projects do in crypto. And what I mean by that is, if you're just starting off, you should be able to, what you should focus on is learn about all of these projects in the top 20, okay? And once you read about them, just kind of try and understand them. You don't need to understand them completely in depth, but kind of understand them. Be able to know what Litecoin does. What does Litecoin do? Okay, understand that. Understand what Chainlink does. Understand what Solana does, okay, or what their goal is. Understand what VeChain does, okay. Understand what Binance Chain does. And then not only that, be able to differentiate. Okay, what's the difference between Ethereum and Binance Coin? Okay, fundamentally, okay. And be able to do that for maybe the top 20. And after you do the top 20, do the top 30. Okay? And once you've gotten a grasp of that, I think you'd be able to look at almost any project in crypto and be able to read about those projects and kind of just generally understand what they do very quickly. Okay? Because if you spend the time to learn about how the top 30 work, that's going to build up your ability to actually analyze projects. And that's the most important thing, is being a good project analyzer. Okay, you need to look at a project and be able to dissect it and understand what they do, and just generally be able to make a call fairly quickly if it's a project you want to spend more time learning about. Okay, so again, guys, there's too many projects in crypto for even one person to know. Okay, and you should never be taking any financial advice from anybody, right? Even some guy on YouTube, right? If you take all your advice from me, then you're just asking to get wrecked, right? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. Okay, I'm just here to guide people and give them a sense of my thoughts, but ultimately you have to decide what works for you. You have to decide what's comfortable for you. You have to decide what projects you like, okay? But I think for the most part, most people in crypto believe in the same basics, and you can see that based on the market caps, right? Which projects have the most market cap, right? And those projects are typically seen as the projects that most people are probably holding, right? Now, I didn't mention Binance Coin, and that's for a reason. I think it's just a riskier play, and I do hold Binance Coin, but it's definitely not in my top 5. It's definitely not in my top 5, but it's up there with projects that I think are good long-term holds as well. So that's it, guys. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. It really helps the channel out. I'll be coming out with a lot more videos in the future. Probably one of the next videos I'll be going over will be how to structure a $10,000 size portfolio and then a $100,000 size portfolio. I'll also be making some guides on how to get involved in PancakeSwap, because I've had some interest in making a tutorial on that. But anyways, guys, appreciate it. Thanks. See ya.